What the heck are you doing now? Do this. All of this rusted stuff here. Got some parts. Got the steps for each side. Got the lower A-pillar pieces there where the lower door hinge goes on. This side was really bad. Returning to earth. This side isn't terrible, but we'll see once we get in there how much of that I'm gonna cut out. I was kind of surprised that the new ones have the nuts on the back. I wouldn't have guessed that, but they do. So yeah, we'll have to see how much we do there. Now this is what really upsets me. Why would somebody paint over? Why would they just mask off these little pieces? Why wouldn't you just mask the whole thing off? That's just dumb. So this step over here is worse. And I'm gonna start on this side. I just tacked this piece of old firewall in there. Just it looks kind of ugly, but it's just something to help give the cab a little bit more support. So I'm going to take the wire wheel and clean this up a little bit. Try to clean up this top edge and expose the spot welds. And the bottom, I got to try to figure out what I'm going to do on the bottom. I need to replace these panels also, so I don't know how much I'm gonna monkey around with the spot welds in there. I might just cut the whole thing out, but we'll see. The back one I'll probably just try to leave that in there and just cut it on the bottom, but have to do some other patchwork in there. So I'll probably just set you guys up on time lapse. You want to take a time lapse? Set you up on time lapse and start trying to tackle that driver's side step. Welcome to the all-new Dirt Grease Outdoor Piece Garage. Listed as DGOP Garage. So thanks for joining me. Click the like and subscribe button. Make sure you follow along. I'll be doing all kinds of interesting projects, including keep hammering away on this truck and try to make some progress. And so yeah, thanks for watching, and let's get something done. glue that on top. That'd be fun. Right in the middle of working on this 58 Apache, and I'm putting this body on a 2005 Tahoe chassis. So I'm calling it the Apachahoe. And as you could see from the intro of that floorboard over there, actually the driver's side floorboard, or not floorboard, but the step, these trucks have an internal step on them. The driver's side was even worse. So I drilled all the spot welds and got that step out of there. And now I am in the process of rebuilding the corners. I made a patch panel to fix this bottom piece here. I've got new brackets that go underneath here for the lower fender bolt. I just replaced this lower A-pillar structure here with the hinge mount. That came out pretty good. I had to do some shaping on this new part to get it to fit good. And I don't have it welded in through here. I was just trying to look at everything and figure out the dimension. I think that this has to be pulled in, so I'm gonna check that. The one thing that I realized was that I had said originally that I wasn't gonna do anything on the body. I just wanted to leave the body like it was and just scuff everything up and put a flat clear coat on the outside and preserve that patina. But what I realized looking at these steps was that the structure of the cab was compromised with all this rust. And also, when I get this truck done, I don't want all the mice and critters and stuff getting inside of this truck. So I wanted to at least fix the steps. Well, then I was looking at everything else that's around the steps, and all this stuff was rusty down here. This piece, this was the bottom of the B pillar, or the rear door jamb here that I cut that out this morning. What you don't see is that the inner cab corner is supposed to come all the way down. This flange is supposed to come down, and it's just rotted. It's just rotted right off there. So it was definitely a good idea going ahead and fixing these cab corners. I had just got this, cut this cab enough to get it over the Tahoe firewall. I'm keeping the Tahoe firewall, so I have the steering and the brakes and the air conditioning and the heater and all that. And I'm putting this old cab on top of it. So I had just cut enough and got this cab all the way down on there as far as I could. And then I realized, well, I have to fix these steps, and as you can see on the other side there, I had to cut the step reinforcement just to get it down on the frame that far, because it sits really low on the frame. So I'm gonna have to make my own support for that'll clear the frame. And there was this was the best time this was the best time for me to go ahead and replace the steps. And before I had it attached to the firewall, because the firewall or the lower body mount there comes right up next to the step. So before I went and welded that in there, I wanted to get these steps fixed to get the cab all fixed up on the bottom here. I did cab corners a long time ago with my dad, and I just helped him. He did most of the work. And so this is my first venture doing this stuff myself. And I don't remember if the old trucks had an inner cab corner to support them. But these have a really big piece on this corner. You can see I've marked and drilled these spot welds here. And it's actually, you know, this whole piece comes all the way down. And it actually has the form of the outside built right into the inner. But you can see how bad this was. Look at, they took the whole profile out of the bottom of this cab corner with all this Bondo. So the truck, even if I did some kind of half-assed patch on there and tried to make this look halfway decent, the truck would have never had the right look and the structural support to be right. They packed this screen in there to hold the Bondo. So this was some of the new parts that I got. This is a bracket for the front fender lower mount. So that goes in here like that. And that's a nice heavy duty part. All these parts are from Taiwan. My dad always say, well, at least it's not China. Anything but China. This is the this is the inner. That's the inner cab corner. Ouch. So you can see how that goes in there. Now, it's kind of really interesting how they design that. So I've already got a bunch of the spot welds separated here. This is what's left of the inner cap corner. There's a brace inside here. So I think what I need to do is get these other spot welds drilled off of that brace, and be able to separate this a little bit and give me some room to get this piece out of here. And there's a bunch of spot welds here where this is welded onto that brace. So that's where I'm at right now. Once I get that in place, I can I made my own piece that goes in the corner here, and I got new steps. Those are the new steps. This is the driver's side here. Comes with the reinforcement on the bottom of it. It doesn't have there's a little bracket that goes up here on the front. So if I can't find that, I might have to make it. But what I did make was a piece that goes up in the corner. Let me show you. So this is what was in that front corner. This is that fender bracket that I showed you. Most of the bracket is in pretty good shape, but it's all thin and nasty right here and where it's welded on there. So I didn't see where this piece was available, and it's not too complicated. Well, my buddy brought over some parts from his work, and there was 2 pieces that had a couple bends on them, and it's actually a lot heavier steel than what was originally on there. And what that's going to help me do is eliminate the brace that was in here. This is a part of the factory brace that was in here, because this is just tin. So having this heavy piece of metal here in the corner is going to help me support all that without having that brace. Now I still might have a brace that goes up to the floor, but the way I'm mounting it to that Tahoe firewall, I don't have a lot of room there. And if you guys are interested in this, do me a favor and go back and look at the original video of this chassis swap body donor video, and you guys can see what I started with and how I got to this point. So this is the new piece that I made, and it actually goes behind that, and just like that. And the step goes on top of that. The step goes on top of these flanges here. So I thought that was a really nice repair piece for that. That'll be nice and heavy, and get some strength back into this cab. So I think I'm gonna just put it on time lapse and do some more drilling and try to get this cab corner out of here. I might just take the cutoff wheel and take a piece out of the bottom of this cab. Maybe it'll help me have a little better access in there. But yeah, thanks for clicking on the video. Thanks for watching, and see if we can get some more work done.
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally weak. No mercy, all I got is working. Never stop searching, never quite so thirsty. I'm toxic and psychotic with this logic, you can't stop it. It's been chronic since I was a boy, so neurotic and chaotic.
I'm built to last with the webs I'm weaving. I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em. Make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the cast, you can see all the healing. If the pain's in the past, move on from the grave and put your foot on the gas. No, never stop competing, yeah.
I've been doing this, I'm on it, I just wanna be iconic. Sipping on a gin and tonic, got me going off when I'm on this topic, yeah. If I ever play, I want it, you know that I'm always honest. Stay away from those who are toxic, keep them out your face, no way, you don't want them, yeah.
Don't try to drain my energy, the enemy is everything. It's mentally, unhealthily, spreading like a rare disease. But I won't let it get to me, I don't need your therapy. I can leave a legacy of leading by.
I got the step fit in there pretty good. I've just got it tacked in with some screws just to hold it in place. Got everything fit pretty good. I had the door on it the last time, and I was checking the gap from the bottom of the door to the rocker, and it was tight on the front, so I marked where it was, I needed to gain just a little bit on the back. Anything would have helped, maybe just a 1/16. And then the front, I wanted to get a good 1/8 of an inch. And I was able to redo that a little bit and gain some. So I'm pretty happy with that. But I wanted to get this cab corner tacked in there before I welded any of that step in place. And so I don't just want to cut all this original metal off and just use the whole panel. I just want to come up. I had to replace this lower door jamb, and that is this cut here. So I wanted to go above that so I can finish welding the gap in here. And then one other thing I want to do on the back is fix this edge. I had to cut the opening that's on here, well, that was on the original cab. I had to cut that off so it would fit down over the frame, and you can see where I cut it here. So what I want to do is figure out the height of my patch here, and then I want to cut this panel off, and then I want to take this new piece and move it in so it will, because you can see how goofy this looks right now where I cut this original cab corner off, and then this is the new inner cab corner. So I want to cut this off of this piece and use this piece to refinish this corner off and be able to just move everything towards me, so that instead of having this sharp edge here, I'll have this finished edge, and it'll be kind of like that. So I need to separate that. And there again, I probably won't use this whole piece here. I'll probably just cut it short and leave some of that. So I think I'll figure out what the height is, and then figure out where I want to cut this, and get started. Yeah, you can. This is the piece of the door jamb that I replaced. And this is what was on there. This is the inner cab corner that I drilled all the spot welds off of, and was able to pull that out. Probably don't need to go 1.9. I think I'll go under that. That's what I need. I need to put another mark on there to confuse myself. So I'll get this cab corner cut, and then I can lay that on there and mark the line. This was just I just put the square on here and marked where I thought I was going to cut, but it didn't make any sense to cut that and then try to cut this to the size. I'll just cut this where I want it and then mark that on here. The tricky thing is going to be how the hell I'm going to mark this. And I'll probably have to take the step back out so I can get this inside there. This one. Well, I don't know if doing more research would have helped at all. You get sometimes you get reviews that are misleading. I bought these cap corners off eBay, and I thought that Goodmark was a good company. I think they used to be a good company a long time ago. 20, 30 years ago, they used to be kind of like a GM knockoff. That was reputable. So when I went on eBay, they were supposed to be Goodmark cap corners, and I paid more for them. Well, then they came in an Auto Metal Direct box, and it took like 6 days to get them. So I left them a message, and I said I could have got Auto Metal Direct panels from Summit probably 4 days ago, and I would have paid like $45 less. So they looked it up and got back to me and refunded me the money. Well, now that I've cut this driver's side, I thought it was close enough where I could make it work, but it's so far off. It's gonna be too much work, and yeah, it's just complete garbage. When I line this front edge up, so I line that edge up, and look how big that flange is. And it's not a huge deal. I could cut that easy enough. But it's not even close to the right profile down here. I would have to cut that into segments and then reshape all that just to get it to look halfway decent. And then the worst part is, look at how far that body line is off on the corner. I had an idea on how I could reshape it, but I'd have a hell of a time getting that to look decent. Have a lot of body work and stuff in it. So I've got this lined up. The side is pretty close there. The bend isn't even close on the back, the way it flares out like that. So just for the hell of it, I tried the passenger side, and I compared this back point here, and the passenger side is in the right position, and it has looks like the right size flange on the front. And I looked on the inside, and it said TriStar parts or something like that. So that's why the prices were different. They were two different parts. And then the other thing I noticed was that it's got this, kind of hard to see, but once you see the other one, it's got a dip in it right here, and this is all goofy on the bottom. So I'm just going to use this for scrap metal, or not scrap metal. I'm just going to use this for spare parts. Just cut pieces out of it that I need, and I'm going to order a driver's side from a different company. Probably save myself a lot of work and a lot of agony trying to get this to line up. So now the only drawback is I don't know what the hell to do now. I'm kind of man. If I put the step in, I'm gonna have a hard time getting the cab corner under the back of the step. I think. I guess I could tack that back in place and see what I can do there. Well, I guess one thing I gotta do, here's another downfall of aftermarket parts. These captured nuts here. I went to go put the door on to check the line on the bottom of that rocker, or the bottom of the door to the rocker, and the bolts they would start in the nut, but then they would jam. So I chamfered the end of the bolt, ran a thread cleaner on it, and they still jammed in here. Now these were brand new because they came with this bottom piece, and I kept trying to run them back and forth and get them started in there. So then the piece of junk tin that they have holding the captured nut in there flared out and let the nut spin inside of there. So then I had to try to grab those with vice grips and get the bolts out. So now I guess I gotta tap these threads and get those so they work. And I guess that's probably what I'll work on now, is making something to reinforce these nut brackets and get that welded in place. And maybe order the other one for the top here. So yeah, so that was the exciting news for today. I was pretty happy with the step and looking forward to getting this cab corner on there, and the thing is just a piece of junk. So I'll order a different one tonight, and I'll try to find something else to do. I need to scuff all this inner cab corner and get a coat of primer and paint on that before I put the cab corner on. Maybe I'll work on that too. Move on to something else until I get my new cab corner. Okay, so I got my part cut. It was actually the same as the other side. If I lined it up perfect where I like the radius on the inside, it was short over here. The other one, I was able to gain some width by putting this down on a sawhorse with a gap in it, and taking a big punch and hitting where I wanted to move the corner to. I gained a little bit on this one, but I think this one's heavier material. I did gain a little bit, but it wasn't exactly what I wanted. So I'm gonna have to add some weld on this corner and blend this corner together a little bit. So now what I need to do is try to figure out where to start. It actually looks like why I have such a big gap over here. Looks like I need to hold a gap on the inside there. Because of the angle, which that's okay. It'll just give us a full weld right there. I have some measurements that I can check to verify the location. Just get this thing clamped in here. I guess that can get pulled in there. I did scratch a good line on the on this thing before I cut it. See, this is the hard part about trying to get this back on there. Try that. That actually looks pretty good right there. Now I had measured from the lower hinge bolt on the top to the opening on the bottom, and that's perfect right there. Just a little over 15 1/4. So I don't want to yeah, I think this is sprung out a little bit. I scratched a really good line on the original part where I could grind to. So I'm gonna trust that and how I cut the new part that I'm sitting on there square. And then I also measured the inside and outside. I know you probably can't see what I'm doing here. But I had, figure out where I wrote it down. I think it was 36. Why is that so far off? What the inside was. Gotta find my measurements. So I had, is this? No, that's not moving. Bottom of hinge opening to the board was 23 and 3/16. So that's right there. For some reason my opening, oh, because it was 3 inches up. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so we're good there. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna that looks good. If the corner lined up, see, it's towards the driver's side, just a touch. And I peeled this open because I want to weld this side. I am going to weld it from the back too. But I think what I'm going to do is yeah, I'm going to line it up, not be an idiot. I think I'll get my magnet. See if that helps at all. Actually, it looks pretty good right there. I think I'll get a tack on this corner. And then just work my way across. The one thing you gotta be careful with these magnets can actually screw up your weld because of the pull in the metal. So if you try to weld too close to the magnet, it won't weld right. So I'm just gonna use it to help hold that for me. Get a couple tacks over here, and then I'll get this lined up and work my way across. I just need to the bottom piece is in just a little bit, so I wanted to take that clamp off so I can sneak this out. Hard to do that with the gloves on. Feels good right there. There it's the old piece goes in. I'm gonna get rid of this. The weld really pulled. There we go. You know that lines up pretty good. So I can just work this piece in and out and help straighten these out. That still needs to give that one more. When those welds cool, they pull that thing back together. It really gets tight. Feels pretty good. Might be able to use this. Pretty good right there. I need that material to grind and blend in there. I'll try to do this inside corner, and then I think I'll go on the back side and start putting some tacks on the inside of this. So I have no idea where I left off because I kind of gave up on video and everything because it was taking so long. But I've got this running board or inner step fit, and I've got just a couple screws in it just to hold it in place. I've got the inner cab corner in. I've got this lower door jamb replaced. This is the back side of the inner cab corner. What I did on those cab corners was once they were in, I scuffed them epoxy primer, sealer primer, and then a good quality undercoating. And I think once it's all together, I'm going to try to go around and either do a fluid film or a cavity wax or something, and go, you know, in between these areas and just spray some rust preventative stuff in there. I was actually surprised on the back. I didn't tape this side off, and some of the undercoating got up on the paint. And when I used the lacquer thinner to get that off, it took this old paint down to where it's nice and smooth. I can't believe that looks like that in there. That they must not have taken the bed off when they painted this other blue on top, because it looks like it's different in here. Well, you can see the overspray there where they didn't go between the bed. So it's going to be interesting to see I think once I get to the point where I'm gonna work on the exterior of this, I'm just gonna take some Scotch-Brite, maybe even try to put Scotch-Brite on a bigger, maybe try to attach it to the buffer and use some kind of a cleaner or degreaser, or maybe even a dish soap or something, and just try to clean this roughness off of here and try to blend all these chips out a little bit and grind some of that rust down and do some kind of a flat clear coat on this. But I think you're going to be amazed at how this paint cleans up. The goal isn't to have it shiny. I just want a smooth, smooth finish that the clear is going to last on. You spend, the clear could be anywhere from $500 to $1,000 to clear this when it's done, and it's just going to be flat. So this is all the stuff that I cut off of the passenger side. This was the cab corner. Look at the inside of that thing. Oh my god, unbelievable. The inner cab corner, the front A-pillar there where the door hinge goes, the part of the step, the bottom of the cowl or A-pillar. So that's all replaced. I think I might have showed that in the last video, but I'm not, or in the last recording, but I'm not sure. So I've got the inner cab corner in here. Same thing, I've got primer and undercoat on the back. And now I've got, yeah, that definitely, no, that might be in the right place. I gotta double check that down there. I've got the cab corner tacked in place, and the same thing on this cab corner. The inside is epoxied, sealer primered, and then undercoated. And the same thing with this. I cut the inside, or yeah, the inner side of the cab corner off, and I had to notch the cab before that. This form here came down right here, and I had to clearance this to go over the frame. So what I did was cut the cab corner was like this, and I cut it. So now this piece is going to be over here, so that I still have that nice round shape with that formed edge, but it's going to be over to clear the frame. This isn't how I'm going to weld this. This is just holding this in place. The shape is just a little bit off, so what I need to do is tack it here and then come around the corner and push this in and tack it and just work my way around. The shape is really close, as you can see. I'm pretty happy with that. The cab corner on the driver's side has been a nightmare. I can't even remember how many cab corners I've gone through now. That one that's laying there was one that I already cut, and I ordered another one off of eBay, and I thought I hit a home run on that one because it looked just like these. It said it was made in USA, and I thought, oh my god, I found a good one. And it was the biggest piece of junk I've ever seen. It looked like somebody had a cab corner shape and took a piece of metal and beat it around that with a hammer. It was so bad, it was unbelievable. So I returned that one. Now I ordered another another one from Summit, so we'll see how that one comes in. So I got this step trimmed and almost ready to go in there, but I wanted to get this. The cab corner has to go in first because the corner of the step goes over top of it, so I had to get this in. So see if we can get this welded in.